Michelle has arrived, and we're now going to talk about bank code. Woohoo!
Let's do it.
The beauty of me having my own summit is I can talk about whatever I want.
Yeah, right.
I can talk about my businesses. And so APL Go is a huge part of my life. And bank code is also huge, a little bit newer to me, and I'm looking to make it bigger. See? Michelle uses Relax. We were just talking. I think we almost went through almost all the products, not quite.
Well,
But
I think I need to relax because my A is kicking in, my friend. I was at a group the other day, and literally the guy sitting next to me, I went and trained his team, and he kept going, A, Michelle. It sounded like he was from Canada. Yeah. I made it funny.
yeah, yeah. You should have said I'm from Canada, like my friend who's an actual A. See how I have mine? I have both of them up. So ANKB and also NAKB. And that's funny because yesterday Michelle and I do a 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time thing on Thursdays. We do a live on both my Facebook and hers. And I had put up my code, my bank code, and I put ANKA. And I'm like, yep, that's the
Oh my
truth.
God, it was so funny. I was like, I think she's really thrown her blueprint in the toilet today.
Yeah. It's pretty low on the numbers, but it is now. At least I have it in two digits, right? At least it's in double digits.
Well, I have to show you this. So my husband, he's speaking my code because he just got me this present, and
Ooh.
it's a Louis Vuitton necklace. Can you
Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It looks like a belt buckle. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
there.
cool.
That's an A. That's an A. That see how excited both of us got? A B would be like, how much was that? How much was that? I could have bought a house with that.
Yeah, right.
Could have bought a used car with that.
Oh my gosh. I
So
love it.
let's talk about bank, Michelle. Michelle and I are kooky. Once we get together, it's fun all the way. And if you think you're not going to have fun, no, you're going to have fun. It's just the way it is. We can't help ourselves. We don't know how to tone it back.
We
And
can have fun anywhere.
yeah, yeah, and we don't care. We're going to be doing some things together. So, bank code, honestly, if I had to give it some, like, what's it really, I mean, it's good for everything, of course, but I'm going to say communication. And what was the other thing that I wanted?
Leadership.
Leadership for sure, but there was something specific that I wanted to say. It was like communication and like the name of our podcast. Let's just call it a podcast now because it's so regular and really I should have it put up everywhere. And it's called How to Get More Yeses
With
with
M&M.
with Eminem, Michelle and we love ourselves because we're A's. So
So, it's funny because Sherry tells a story about when Bank first started, and she literally had M&Ms, like colored M&Ms that she gave people.
I think that's amazing. And so I think we should do something with that. And we are going to be doing some things. So listen up real close. People who live in the Pittsburgh area or who have no trouble driving there or flying into there. And at some point also in Canada, we will have it. But we will have some training and you will want to listen to this part of the summit because we're going to end with bank and bank is so hugely important. So I just completed level 5 coaching, which means nothing to you, but we'll explain in a bit. Michelle's been doing it for a while, so she's kind of like my leader and I'm the follower. But we work so well together and we work well together because we're both the same bank code. We speak the same language, right, Michelle? Like
Absolutely.
that's kind of what it boils down to. So we both speak A. We speak a little N too, because we're both pretty strong in the N. We're both pretty nurturing. We're both coaches. I mean, it's hard to be a coach and not have a strong N in your which is nurturing, right? It stands for nurturing. And then there's K. So K is interesting.
I love the way you said that.
And there's K, and I was going to leave it at that. And then, of course, there's B, which I sometimes don't have any of. So when I first started with bank, I had single digits. So it's out of 25%. You get, when you take the advanced test, and I will post the link above this. But when you take the test, the advanced one, then you get an actual number. And mine was really low. It was one digit. It might have been a 5 or a 6 or a 7. I don't even know. And I'm like, wow, what am I going to do with this? Like, I can't even relate to a B, and B is blueprint, not what you think. Not BITCH, but blueprint. And it's just the way people are there. And I have friends. I have great friends, and we both have partners that have a lot of B in them. So isn't that interesting? That's where we get our grounding from. So there you go. And we both
Well,
Snoopy because she has a Snoopy blanket of some sort on her bed, and I have a Snoopy and Peanuts blanket over on my couch, which is
so
that we're both having.
that's Snoopy in his yoga Zen pose.
Oh my God, I
Like,
can't see it.
can you
I'm
see his little
gonna,
fingers?
I'm gonna bring mine just because I can. No, I don't want to take it
Wait,
off.
can you see him now?
Yes. Oh yes, now I can see that oh, that's perfect.
He's like, he's chilling out. That's a little Snoopy chill. So I went into the Verizon store to get a new phone, right?
Mhm.
Because while I do that, well, here's the real story. I
That-
went into
I like
I
the
went
real
into
story.
I went into the Verizon store to get a new phone. Here's my A. So me and my kids are all on one account. And so you used to be able to upgrade, and I always upgrade early. So it would work out great because if I didn't have an upgrade available, I just use one of my kids. Well, Verizon changed it, so you really can't do that. And so last time I got a new phone, it got all messed up. So I went in to get another new phone. And on the wall was the Apple Watch, and it had Snoopy on it. And I was like, well, I need one of those.
I need
So
to get my blanket. Keep talking, I can hear you.
he does all different things. So it keeps me highly entertained because A's can get bored very easily. And yeah, so that's why I ended up with the Apple Watch because of Snoopy. Are you getting your blankie?
My friend
Are you getting your blankie?
I am. So my friend got me this
Oh,
for my birthday. What? Okay, there you go.
oh,
Look
look
at
how
that.
cute that is. Look, I have one too. It's the red berry.
Okay, we did not intend to make this peanuts show and tell.
Look, it's
We are
cute.
really here to talk about bank. We really are here to talk about bank.
Well, but this is a perfect example how A's get
This is how we
distracted.
do business. We
We
get
have fun.
distracted. We're
We
still
have
telling
fun.
you. We're showing you us. This is how we talk. Look, we're talking over each other. I just
And you know what's so fun about that is we don't care.
nobody cares. Nobody cares. We're not overly businessy. In fact, we don't like a lot of overly businessy. However, if we were a bee, we would have to be far more precise and a little bit more serious about everything. Do you see the difference? There will be no
Absolutely.
showing blankets of peanuts and yoga poses because that is unacceptable behavior.
You know what? It's so funny because I have been tapping into my blueprint because God made us all beautifully. We can tap into any of them we want, which is probably why my A is so off the chart because all morning I've been working on, are you ready for the bad word? Are you ready for it?
Go for it.
Spreadsheets.
Oh, who does that? Hire someone. What's wrong
Blueprints.
with you?
Blueprints. Yeah, well, there we go. That was fun. So, B.A.N.K is the only methodology in the world scientifically validated to predict buying behavior in less than 90 seconds. And well, who would not want to do that?
Here it is. Do you know who likes playing with these? Everybody.
do, do you know even dogs have codes? And do you know my dog has the same bank code as me? And she literally has eaten this blueprint card like 7 times.
See?
Very upsetting.
very,
Well,
very.
every week we're going to have an intro to bank on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, a free little master class so that people are able to increase their sales, do it in half the time, have more fun, understand people, and finally figure out why that person in your life drives you nuts. Who wouldn't want a better life?
It's true. And you know what? Unfortunately, right now, Sherry and Esther are going away for about a month shortly. So we won't have the free class that Sherry Tree, our fearless leader, typically has she has it for free. She's been giving it out literally for free. I mean, how much does it normally cost, Michelle?
Oh, it's like thousands. I mean, her time is priceless. And we're
Yeah.
actually doing something the beginning of June, but I'll save that for another time.
There we go. But please connect with me if you are interested. I'm happy to talk to you one-on-one about it. Me and Michelle can get on a call with you. All three of us can have a chat. You can bring some more people and we can have a party. And we'll take care of you. And we'll give you the systems and the processes. And then you'll see the whole big picture with everything, how it'll roll over. Oh, she's so proud of me. Look at her.
I am.
Because I just spoke in all four languages and she just gave me her, you go girl. Because sometimes
I
I
did.
do that, I get excited and I forgot. I only speak A, like yesterday. There was no B.
Well, you know what? But you just so the to the human ear, the untrained bank ear, no one caught it. But like, dude, I lit up. I was like, there she goes, speaking all four languages. And so we have opportunities as well. We are looking for other certified coaches and trainers. And Marianne is incredible and she can help you with that too. So if you're one of Marianne's followers and peeps, reach out to her because it's a huge opportunity and opportunities don't come by that often.
I do want to mention for the Ks in the group, and not just the Ks, because I'm pretty excited about this too. And the LinkedIn extension. Okay. The LinkedIn extension makes you psychic. It makes you psychic. You can find out all your people on LinkedIn. You can find out what code they are. How beneficial would that be? Would you like to know what code the person whose business you're trying to get is? Would that equate to a yes or a no? That would equate to a yes, in case you have to wonder. That's not, no. That's going to equate to a yes, because who else is going to talk to them like that? Someone who doesn't know bank? I don't think so. No, they're going to talk in their language. It's like speaking Spanish to a person who speaks French. Why are you wasting your time and mine?
Right, absolutely. But yet, you know, everybody thinks that just because we all speak English, that's our code. That's how we speak. That's how we communicate. It is not up to the person sitting across from you to try to figure out what you're saying. And when they do have to figure it out, it's like cracking open a vial of vinegar and you just threw it into their eyes and they ran away from your sale, your product or service.
Yeah,
and now they're and now they're going to your competition, because if they're not buying from you, they're buying from someone else. So,
and you just lost a sale.
yeah, right.
And
a huge sale.
A huge sale. Now, have you ever had someone speak to you and now they're giving you details and they're sending you, okay, first of all, they're starting with this. First of all, they haven't even bothered to introduce themselves. So that would be my nurturing coming through. They haven't introduced themselves to me. They haven't looked at my profile, but they want my business. So now they're going to send me this thing this long in my messenger, and they think I'm going to read that. So that's funny because I don't read it. I don't read anything that's long. Sometimes if I know that I have to in real estate, then I will, but I literally will not read that anywhere else for any other reason.
Well, yeah, I got on a call. Somebody called me today, but go ahead, finish your story.
And that's it. And now she's trying to talk to me, or he. But and I'm like, oh my God, you lost me at the second. Like there was a punctuation somewhere in there. Please stop talking because I don't even know what you're saying anymore. I'm not listening. and I'm interrupting. I'm trying to get them to stop talking and they don't know. They're giving me too much detail and I'm like, I'm not a blueprint. I don't want the detail. Give it to me short and fast and to the point. I've actually said that to people. I go, get to the point, give me the one-liner and leave me alone. Literally,
Well,
leave me
I've
alone.
had I had somebody call me today and they gave me a whole spiel. Apparently they thought I was a real estate agent.
Ah.
And I said, I am not a real estate agent.
I'm a real estate agent, so that's even more
And
fun.
he was like, well, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but he is trying to sell me something, right? And then he's like, could you just get on Zoom for like 15 minutes? And I was like, no, I actually can't right now. And he goes, so he starts his whole sales pitch again. Again, he's not selling me. And then says, can you get on Zoom right now? And I was like, I already told you I can't get on Zoom. So it's all how you communicate with people. If he would have came on and gave me my A language and N language that I needed, but he automatically just, because first of all, he didn't even know anything about me, but he assumed I was a real estate agent. I helped them. I help real estate agents,
Yeah.
right? But I'm not one.
But this is so good for real estate agents. This is like a meant to be. This situation is so amazing. Like honestly, bank code, but it's not even just at work. I mean, if you consider at home with your family, wouldn't you get along better with your family members if you knew if you knew that your daughter wasn't just hormonal, but she's a B and she's quieter than you are, wouldn't that be more helpful? Wouldn't it be helpful if your son was a K and wasn't just strapped to his room? Like,
Yeah,
and you didn't have to, and you're all outgoing and you don't know how these kids became like that. Well, we all have our own personalities, right?
absolutely. Well, look at my son. He's B.K.N.A, right? And he sent me a birthday present. And because we have a great relationship now, we didn't for like 18 years. But anyway, so he sends me a birthday present, and in the card, it literally says, I'm so sorry that this is late. I mean, early, that it's early. So it came like 3 days before my birthday, which to me, I would not even have paid attention. Like I usually send things late,
Yeah.
just the way I am. But anyway,
A.
um, and so his blueprint, like he literally apologized for and then called me and said, I don't know why. This doesn't make any sense. There's his K, right? I can't get your present delivered on your birthday, but it was President's Day. So that could be why. But anyway, it was like a big deal.
Mhm.
But I understood why it was a big deal.
Because they like to do things perfectly,
Yeah,
right?
and timely. Like
Finally.
it's a big deal that it couldn't be on time.
Yeah, and what are we doing and when are we going? So we went out, speaking of birthdays, we went out for my friend's birthday just this past weekend and we went to a very busy restaurant, very, very busy. And it was Saturday night. Of course, it was busy. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, because we got there at 7. We had a reservation. So we got there at 7. There was 8 of us. And so one of the servers had said, you may have to, like, we may have to only give you until 9 o'clock because we're so very busy, which 2 hours is, enough time to get food and whatever. But some of the girls were coming in later. So, some of them were like so upset that this is what this guy said to them. And I said, just relax. It's going to be okay. They're not going to kick us out. They're just trying to tell us, warn us in case they get busy, but this is their busy time. They're not going to get busier than this. Like it's not going to happen at 9 o'clock. It's not going to be this big, that might happen in July when it's still daylight at 9 o'clock, but not now. And so sure enough, 9 o'clock came and all of a sudden there were some empty tables. So nobody was going to go anywhere. And we ended up staying there till 10:30 or 11 or whatever time it was. I don't even know. And I'm like, just stop worrying. Like, but that really upset them. This was the topic of conversation on this end of the table where all the K's were and all the
Yep.
B. And I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't stress. So I
Yeah.
have one OCD thing. So I do have, this must be my blueprint. I have one OCD thing where I don't like a lot of stuff on my table when I'm eating. So even in a restaurant, I'll try to clear off some of the, so that there's some space so I can move around. And I rarely order pizza, but I had ordered pizza, and pizza always comes on a big plate because it's never a small pizza, right? It's always this big, huge plate, and it takes up half the table. And the table was small to begin with, and there were so many of us. It was a table for 6, and there was 8 of us. Actually, I think honestly, it should have been for 6. 6 would have been comfortable, and there was 8 of us. Like, that's a lot. You add 2 people to a table, and it's like holy terror.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So that's hugely important. And yeah, you'd want to have more yeses. You want that LinkedIn extension. And then we have the really amazing AI who writes our posts for us and writes emails for us in all 4 languages. In all 4 languages, or one language if you want.
Well, there's 24 different combinations, which means people have a 4% shot of getting a yes, a 96% shot of getting a no, 96% without bank. So Kai, you can just pick whatever code you want out of the 24 combinations, and then you can write in any code, which gives you, it empowers you to always communicate effectively. Nail it. Hit the yes.
Who would think this is like super beneficial? It helps you communicate better with your friends, with your family, with your partner. Who would like to communicate better with their partner? Anybody here? Like, anybody? Are you kidding me? This could save divorces. I believe that it has actually saved people from committing suicide because, people don't feel heard, seen, understood. Can you imagine the difference makes in lives?
Yeah, I mean, my whole life I didn't feel seen, heard, or understood. I mean, geez, I was in the wrong family. I was convinced that I was adopted, raised by the wrong family, and someday I would find my real parents. No,
it's true. But that's how I feel. And I was saying, wasn't I saying this to you the other day, or was it someone else where I said, I really love going to B.A.N.K events like online. Well, I'd like to go to one in person at some point as well. But online, because I feel like, sometimes I talk out of turn. Sometimes I go really loud and I get so excited. Oh, and I have the answer and I'm waving my hand like I'm 5 years old at school. And, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so accepted because they know I've already put my code up. They know I'm an A. So they don't expect me to be quiet. And I've been told to be quiet my whole life. Like, okay, can you tone it down a little bit? Can you keep the excitement? And all I am is excited. That's all we are. We're not like, we're not intentionally cutting you off. We're just so excited that we do this, or whatever.
Well, you mentioned live events, so I would stay tuned and talk to Marianne because we're going to have some live events coming up that are going to be pretty exciting.
We are. It's going to involve sales and something called what's it called?
Coding. Speed coding.
So look at this. I actually won the award for the best person in speed coding when I was going through it online. And speed coding, basically, I just want to call it, the reason I can't remember the name is because to me it's just being psychic, becoming psychic, because it teaches you how to recognize, it trains you how to recognize traits really quickly without using the cards or anything else, and you just go, oh my god, that's an A, oh my god, I better be careful, I better hug her, she's an N.
Well, and the important piece is you're guessing all 4, so it's not just about the first code. You need the whole entire sequence, because if you don't put it in the right order, that's when it blows up.
Let's talk about some of the differences just briefly. So like an A would drive what kind of a car? Go, Michelle.
Lamborghini.
A Lamborghini, some sort of a sports car. I happen to like SUVs, but it's got to be a nice SUV. It can't be some, whatever. N's. I'm definitely not an N.
A minivan. I would never drive a minivan.
Everybody has to come in. Everyone, the whole community has to fit into that car. And the neighbors' kids too, because we're gonna drive somewhere together and we're gonna have a barbecue together, all 25 of us that are gonna fit in the car. A K, Tesla, right? I think we're safe to say Tesla. Super high tech.
Well, and actually, so Tesla actually speaks to all four, which is
Right.
interesting. But
Right.
K's love Teslas.
But K's love Teslas because it is, you know, techie and all of this, right? It's probably loaded up with all the techie stuff that you could possibly ever have in one. And then of course, you know, the B's would be like, let's say a proper sedan, Mercedes sedan, let's say.
Safety ratings, blueprints are safety.
Volvo is probably a better
Yeah.
one for them, right? Safe, high end, good on gas, good on this, lasts long. I don't know, whatever. Clearly, I'm not a B. I don't buy cars like a B.
Yeah, it would be price, safety ratings,
Because it's a good quality.
reports,
He'll buy a Mercedes.
reviews.
He'll buy a
Oh.
Mercedes because it's good quality. An A will buy a Mercedes because it looks good.
Excellent.
Done. Looks good. And it's got some clout to it, right? That's it. What was
Absolutely.
the other thing I was going to talk about? What were we talking about before? And I thought, oh, that would be a good thing. Oh, how do people greet you? So how does an A greet someone, Michelle?
High five, fist pump, head nod. What's up?
Yeah, maybe a hug. Like when me and Michelle will see, because we don't see each other that often because we live in two different countries, we're super excited to see each other. So then there's a long hug because then it turns into an A-N thing situation. And N is obviously going to hug you. I mean, don't even think about, you know, dishing out your hand to them. Okay. Yeah, they're not going to touch you. They're just going to say, yeah, what's up? What's up?
Talk reading,
Talk reading.
business card.
And then B's, you better shake their hand and you better be on time. And on time means what, Michelle? Half an hour early?
Yeah, 20 to 30 minutes early.
Something like that. At least.
5 minutes easy on Zoom. They don't want to show up too early on Zoom because they might pop into the meeting unexpectedly, and then that would be not good.
But you better be done on time and you better not be late. Because
Absolutely.
they can't do business with you. It's just the way it is. So, you know, if you don't think knowing all of this would be beneficial to you in sales alone, never mind just for business reasons, never mind the rest of your life, it would be great with everything. Like I have a lot more tolerance for some of my friends because some of them talk forever in a day and I'm just like, oh my God, what's she going on about? Like there's so much detail. There's so much detail in what she's saying, but she's a hardcore nurturer. She doesn't know how to give me the short version of anything. Nothing.
Well, look at that second code, right? The second code plays a huge role.
And then for her it's N, but for me, I'm just like she doesn't get what I say half the time because I do one-liners. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Done. And she's like, that's it. Just that's not going to happen. You're not going to do that. You're not going to give me an explanation. You're not going to tell me what the hell you're talking about. And like she'll call me because she's a real estate agent, but she's more junior than I am. So she'll be like, oh, can we do this? I go, no. And that's it. That's my sentence. No, it's a complete sentence to me. And she's like, can you elaborate? And I go, not ever. I don't know. I go, what are you looking for? And she's like, well, I want to know why I can't do it. And I go, I don't know why. Who cares? I don't ask questions. So I don't ask for details. So I don't have the details. Don't come to me for details. I don't know where they are. They're tucked away in a drawer somewhere. I don't do details. Go to a B for details.
Oh my God, I love it. Oh, you crack me up, my friend. Well, that was our little segment on B.A.N.K. Reach out to Marianne. She's fantastic.
And you know what? Michelle's fantastic. And we're planning a live event. So anyone who, like I said, close to Pittsburgh or can make it out to Pittsburgh, we're going to do it. I don't know when, sometime soon, maybe June if we're lucky, but maybe more like July or August.
Yeah.
Something like that. And we're going to do some other things. We have other things that we want to do together because, of course, we love each other, right? Because we love ourselves. Because A and KBs love B.A.N.K bees. Love all the rest of you guys too. We love all of you because we love you and we need you. Like we both have bees as partners. So we need grounding from you people, which allows us to be crazy. So it's great. It works out great for us. Anyways, with that, I want to thank you for joining Michelle and I and for allowing us to tell you why we are in love with B.A.N.K. I will post above the video when we're done. I will post the free personality assessment. It will say crack your code and you can do it for free. It'll show you the 4 cards and it'll take you 30 seconds to do. It might take you 60 seconds. And if you're really slow, it'll take you 90 seconds, but it will not take you more than that. That is for sure. So have some fun with that. At some point, I will post the next, and we'll talk about it next time. My next summit is June 13th. So hopefully by then we'll know when the next date for Sherry's free session is going to be. And also Michelle's going to be doing her sessions. Can you tell us again, Tuesdays at
2 p.m. EST, Eastern Time.
What's it called? Introduction to
Intro to B.A.N.K.
There you go. Intro to B.A.N.K. And with that, we want you to
take it to the bank.
Thank you all so much. And thank you everyone who has joined us and commented and played with us, and everyone who's going to still listen to this replay. You know, it's only up now. Facebook is changing their rules. So the live will only be on Facebook for a month. And then it's going to go up onto my YouTube. You can see it there. I'll put it onto my podcast station, which is Traverse TV. It's going to be amazing. So thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed all of this. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Canada, happy long weekend. Happy Victoria Day weekend. So long weekend.
Happy Victoria Day.
This weekend, and next weekend it's the US. So Canada and US, we all love each other still. Regardless of what else is going on in the air, and everybody is beautiful. Thank you all so much.
God bless.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.